So hopefully we're live again. We can get this going and actually stick with us. Don't know why again. We literally had the first time there's like complete X over our screen for our live broadcast. Like never seen that before. So is that, no, I'm not seeing it even on my screen yet.
Anthony can see you and hear you. Everything looks good on this end.
Maybe my phone isn't updating yet.
Yeah, neither is my computer, but he says he can hear you.
All right, so Anthony, my buddy, camera guy, assistant, he is saying he can hear us. I can't see it, so I don't know whether it's there or not. Okay. So there we go. I can see it now. Cool. All right, so a lot of you are already with us. Going to be talking about elderberry and COVID-19 coronavirus, why the hysteria behind like don't take elderberry, it could cause inflammatory cytokine storm. Simply put, people are freaking out. Have had many questions over the last few weeks. Had several discussions online when I see people post big bold print, don't take elderberry with COVID-19. It could cause inflammatory cytokine storm. Elderberry causes inflammatory. I'm like, seriously, you're saying it causes it? Wow. So I was a little irritated by it, but I will be 100% honest with everybody. Guess what? I have formulated with the Wellness Way, I formulated an elderberry tincture. Elderberry, honeysuckle, and reishi because they're potent immunomodulators and strong antiviral, and specifically being immunomodulatory in the effect that they have boosting effects to our immune system when we need it, but calming and anti-inflammatory effects as well. And we'll be talking about that, and I will be discussing it more specifically too. Elderberry. So I have a financial bias here, and I'm going to be completely open and upfront with that. And the reality is, all of our stock of elderberry has been sold out. Our first shipment of 1,000 bottles, which we purchased months and months ago, have already sold out, and now we're looking at by the 30th, the week of March 30th, we will have the elderberry, honeysuckle, and reishi tincture back online in our office, as well as online through the Wellness Way. And I know that Ashley will typically post the link to the Wellness Way store, and you can use our doctor referral code. That helps me out financially. When I give you information like this, I just want to freely give information as much as possible, enhancing people's understanding of how they can take care of themselves, their bodies, and really pointing out that these herbs, really the number one thing I want to do with this in the wild doc kind of persona, online presence, is I want to glorify God right now. You know what God said in Ezekiel 47:12? He said, let fruit be for food and leaves be for medicine. So in this time period, I'm going to look to herbs for medicines, because I believe it doesn't matter whether it was a laboratory created, a mistake, whatever, or a mutated natural strain of the coronavirus. You know what? God's provided, and He's provided from the beginning to the end. If it's all true, I'm going to look to science for some clarity at times, but I'm not going to look to scientists and man to create something in a lab to save all of our lives. Meanwhile, everybody else who's already died or gotten coronavirus, well, I'm sorry, God, if it was scientific minds that were the only ones to save lives, guess what? Then God didn't provide for the people who've already gotten coronavirus. So the reality is, I don't believe that. I believe God provided. And that's what I want to highlight in this, is that these are medicines God's created for us to use and support and enhance our systems to live a better, joyful, more relaxed life, not live in fear. That's where I'm at. I'm not going to live in fear right now. It's ridiculous what is happening right now. Is there common sense to, when you're sick and have something, don't go out in public, don't be around people, washing your hands? Yeah, but the reality is the majority of infectious diseases, well over 50% of the spread, they estimate, is not from droplets that you get on your hands. It's actually that you breathe the same air that somebody who's infected breathes out. That is where the majority of infectious disease spread occurs. It is through aerosolization from your lungs that you breathe out just by breathing. So the reality of wash your hands and stuff like that, great, keep doing it, but the reality is breathing the same air as somebody else would be the number one way in risk factor for infection. But again, it's not about freaking out. If I didn't have access to any herb right now, all I'd need to do is keep feeding my kids the way I'm doing. I don't care about stocking up on food right now. Folks, in Tennessee at least, it's the growing season. Right now, I could never eat. My cows can't even eat. And my donkey, my cows, and my pigs can't even eat all the green, lush vegetation that's growing right now. So the reality is we're going to have medicinal mushrooms, morels are going to be growing. We've got violet growing. We've got chickweed growing right now. We've got cleaver, that is an amazing herb that when juiced or made teas with fresh, guess what? It's fantastic as a lymphagogue to move the lymph system, which is necessary during an infectious disease. But here's the deal. We're going to go through this stuff. This is the type of stuff I'm seeing online. I was literally attacked by several friends of mine and people for calling people out and saying, don't keep saying that elderberry is contraindicated for coronavirus because it enhances inflammatory cytokines in Petri and Vitro studies. And it does enhance our immune response, helps us clear infectious diseases and viral infections much more rapidly, and this is in human and animal trials. Don't throw the fantastic medicine that some people, maybe that's the only thing they're going to have on hand at home. Don't tell them that they can't rely on that, and don't falsely associate a serious condition with an herb when there's no evidence that that herb causes that. And in fact, the evidence is actually in opposition of that claim. And I'm going to break it down, and I am going to highlight, because people, well, Dale, have you read this? Well, yeah, have you read this? And I read those things, and then I read their resources. That's what I want to say too, is people, please read people's resources, even mine. I'm giving you information, bringing it to the surface, and then hopefully you can get those resources, utilize them, educate yourself on your own by reading what I've read. Don't just take my word for it. I want people to be, because it'll give you a even greater understanding, the situation we're in, the situation with the pharmaceutical industry, the medicinal herb industry, whatever. That greater understanding leads to a power enhancement in your own knowledge and capability of relaxing. If I wanted to say what the number one herb I probably recommend right now, again, and this is my opinion, and this isn't your doctor recommending, always consult with your physician before changing your supplement regimen or nutritional regimen. You know what? People, take some California poppy. It's called a chill pill, all right? Don't freak out. You know, again, I've got salad greens all over my backyard right now. If I had no medicinal herb to help my children and me, what would I do right now? I'd be pulling up all the wild garlic. It's a weed that we never spray. It's medicine right now that would be fantastic to mix in and make your own fire cider with. Wild garlic is much more medicinal even than cultivated garlic. Even though cultivated garlic is fantastic, the bioactive constituents of wild garlic are actually superior to cultivated garlic. So get you some wild garlic and relax and take a chill pill, all right? So here we go. It looks like